Hi everyone and welcome to our beautiful baby boy collection. This is a collection that you are going to love. The colors in it, the actual tone of the blue and the green just turned out so incredibly well. It is so soothing. It is very obviously baby boy, so it has that, you know what I'm saying, that feel to it of it's still a baby even though it's a boy. But it has also been, Mary Fran has filled it with so many pre-made items that allow you to capture all the special moments of the first year of your baby's life or grandbaby's life. Obviously, you're going to see that there is an additional little bits which are included in the bundled pack, or you can purchase them separately if that's what you wish. And they're called Little Bits Baby Boy Months. And this is 1 through 12 of the baby boy's first months, which are going to allow you to capture all the special moments, all the photos, all the everything, because babies grow so quickly, and there are so many milestone moments that we wanted to make sure that you have those there when you're creating that baby mini album or full photo album. So before we get to see it all here, first off, this is our bundled collection. So within our bundled collection, there are no duplicate items in any of these 6 products. Normally there's only 5 products, but because we have the additional baby months, there's a total of 6 products included. They all coordinate, no duplicates in here. Lastly, if you were tuning into this video and a little later on throughout the years, there is a baby girl version of this if that's what you are looking for, and it is titled Beautiful Baby Girl. Very easy to find in our store under our category of babies. So let's hop in and see exactly what is in this kit. So in the FQB, here are each month's thing. And these baby milestone cards have a date, the month's milestones, and the special memories. So you can also, if you print these out, you could flip them over to have photos on them or do so many other things for photos, but just an option for you. And obviously, there is one for each of the first 12 months of the baby's life, and they are all identical so that way it flows very, very nicely when you create that. Baby shoes, obviously the baby boy, look at how cute those are. Again, you're going to see that flow throughout the entire collection. And here is Welcome Home Baby Boy. Like, you have everything. Like, imagine that being the cover for your mini album or photo album. Like, isn't that gorgeous? It's already done for you. You just simply print it, put it on there, digitally put it on, however you're creating this. But you have so many pre-made elements because it is such a big thing when you make a baby album. Here's also some of the borders that are included in, some of the backgrounds with the borders down the sides. And as you can see, there are great pattern papers in here and loads of them. There's larger than 50 in just the FQB alone as far as papers go. And as you see, that pattern comes in several different colors. And the reason for that is obviously people see things creatively and differently and want to create differently. And also, if you're making, and you will be making with baby boy stuff, multiple items, whether that's invitations, cards, photo albums, mini albums, all that stuff, you want things to flow properly and be coordinated, but not the identical in terms of using the identical paper over and over and over again. So here you go. You have this little one, paper in both blue and green and a different blue and teal, so you can utilize those on different pages throughout the theme of your paper craft with coordination but without duplication. That is kind of the whole point of it all, and that's the reason that you get these. Then on top of it all, there's a solids paper pack and a 2 paper pack, so for those of you that are new to us, so there is tons. I want to stop here and highlight this stationery back once again. Can you imagine if this was printed out and this was your photo area, right? Mary Fran has done all the hard work of layering all this on here. You print this out as one item, or obviously put it on digitally as one item. But there are so many options in here. Again, here's a different version of it. You got the beautiful florals in there in order to soften it. This is a baby. This is for the parents. This is the whole crux of the kit is it's made for elegance for the parents of their baby. You know, that was the genesis and the thought process behind the creation of these beautiful baby boy and girl collections. So on into, there is the last of our words backs, And dear little one, this is only the beginning of many years full of love, joy, and wonder. Every day we love you. You know, gorgeous things like this that can be utilized and so easily utilized is, I guess, what I'm looking for, where Mary Fran has done that hard work for us so that we can just create. We don't have to put things together in terms of this element and that paper and this and that and the other thing to get what we want and write things on there and everything else. Mary Fran's done that hard work so that you can just focus on the actual creating of your paper craft. So, again, in the boys, coming to the elements, the bibs. Great elements, obviously, so apropos for a baby boy album. Nice bows in a couple of different styles, as well as the brads. A lot, again, of elegance. Same thing with the butterflies. You'll see the style and the papers that Mary Fran has used. Very elegant and very much made for the parents to capture their baby. You know, this was kind of the genesis behind that. Buttons with great covers on them. Circle elements. Again, great elements in terms of giving you such an eye-grabbing element, but not having to do the work for it. Same thing with the clusters. The clusters are obviously fuller. So our little darling, like maybe this is for a shower. Maybe you're hosting a baby shower for the baby boy. You know that it'll be a baby boy that's being born. Holy, that was a lot of bees, wasn't it? But you have, again, these clusters that Mary Fran has created for you, and you'll see way more of them in the little bits. That way you can get to the fun of the creating and doing that invitation. You're not having to put on, okay, how big should the butterfly be and what should I pair with it and everything else. These are the great main elements. Now, you also do have them in separate elements because maybe you want to add to something. Maybe or you're in a real creative streak, and you know, I know lots of you are very creative. You want that freedom where you want to add more flowers. I wish this had, Mary Fran created this and it's really nice, but I wish it, you know, da. Well, then you have those parts and pieces where you can further that and make it look, personalize it to make it look exactly like you want. Here's a good example in the frames. Maybe you want to add, there's the photo that's going to go in here, but maybe you want to add one of those flower clusters that we just passed by in order to enhance it even more. There's so many things you can do. Maybe in this, you wanted to add the doily behind this and place it behind the photo, you know, just to give it a different look. So those things are all there as well. More frames in a simpler style. That way you have frames in the pretty style with the floral that have a little more interest to them. These ones are a little simpler because maybe that's the look you were going for. You wanted everything to focus right on that photo. Here is the 12-month frame photo. So obviously one frame for each of the 12 months of the baby's first year. Hello world, so this is for the birth announcement, date, time, weight, length, proud parents, and journal cards. Again, journal cards are fantastic, where hopefully they're saying or giving that feeling what you are, sorry, let's go back there, giving you that feeling and saying of what you want to say without having to come up with those words, find these great fonts, all that kind of stuff. Mary Fran's taken that work upon herself so that way when you get it, you can just craft with it. There are blank journal labels in here. Obviously, we recognize that not everybody has English as their primary language, and we're not able to say exactly the words that you chose and you wanted to say. So these are here so that way you can put on your exact phrase, sentiment, name, whatever it is. Same thing with these mats. These are larger sizes, so the mats can be used decoratively, both as, hey, I can place a photo and some journaling in here, but I can also tuck this in behind a larger flower cluster or whatever. There's so many uses for the mats. They're really very versatile. A lot of first phrases here. My first bath, welcome home, etc. You'll see as I scroll by. Again, Mary Fran is trying to think of a lot of the first things. Obviously, she's not going to hit every single one, but a lot of them. So that way you can keep creating and just pop these in, because these are some of those very big first moments that happen throughout your baby boy's life in that first year. So we wanted to try and capture that. But again, blanks are here so that you can write in exactly what you wanted. If you're looking, we do have a video in our how-to section. If you wanted to write this right on with a font digitally and then print it out first, so you're not handwriting on this, there is a video how to do that, so check out our how-to section on our YouTube channel. The baby boy's onesie. The photo corners, again, photo corners which come in a few different styles, because again, creatively, you're going to be looking for something a little more elaborate, a little simpler, and possibly a different color. So we want to make sure you have those. The baby pram, obviously gorgeous. The ribbons, you'll see in the card making idea that I'll show you at the end how to use one of the great uses for ribbons. If you haven't used ribbons before, they really, really come in very handy. The rocking horse, obviously a great element that you're going to want to use. A simple rosebud. This simple rosebud was placed, you'll see it more predominantly on the bibs that I showed you originally way back here in the video, but great element to do. Scallop borders, so you can dress up, whether that be anything, photos, other papers, whatever you want to do. And square elements, again, things like to the journal cards that Mary Fran has pre-done for you with great sentiments, really well designed, so they grab interest and also say things that you are looking perhaps to say. The squares in terms of pre-made elements, again, that I keep talking about, these are already done for you. So again, grab such interest and you just pop them in. So very, very easy to use. The tabs are great for A, journaling, B, just decorative, and C, to also place photos on. They're great slide-in items into an album, where that way it gives you this pretty little card that you're journaling on the back, things like that. Today for the first time, and then there's a date. So there's a lot of other things that, again, like I said, we couldn't capture every single moment or whatever, so that's why these are here in the blanks, and you can allow you to fill them in. Again, beautiful word strips, so well designed, you can just pop them in if it says what you want to say, but there's the blank ones. In case it doesn't, you have the ability in order to put that in exactly as you want. And that is just the FQB. So in the little bits, as I mentioned to you earlier, it's fully finished elements. So these are belly bands. So these are created quite large so that way they can cover your whole page in terms of going across the horizontal of your whole page or of your card. And you can obviously you can shrink them to fit whatever you want. But then that way you can write in whatever you want in there. And they're, again, great. If you glue down just the ends, a lot of you know that, but for those of you that don't, you can glue down just the ends of these and then slide something in behind that, right? Whether that's one of the journal cards that we have or the month cards, whatever it is, right? Here's some beautiful clustered elements that I was speaking about earlier. Big main element items that obviously are just really, really well done. Gives you a gorgeous page, a gorgeous card. It gives you that starting point. The little bits is always a great place to start. If you're starting on a project and you're like, oh, I love this, I want to start creating, I'm not welcoming them home, it's not their first birthday, but I want to create with this, the little bits is a great place to start because it will give you these things that are a great starting point for you. Then you can work backwards from it and pair papers with it and other elements and things like that, right? But this gives you your main focus. These are digital sentiment stamps. So a digital stamp works exactly like stamp does in physical, where you take your polymer stamp, dip it in your ink, and place it on your page. Same thing. You place this stamp on wherever, on top of a photo, on top of your background paper, whatever, wherever you want it, then you print. So very simple to do. You can size it to whatever you want. So it's really large if you want it. It's very small and just a small portion. Whatever you want, but it makes it so nice because you have this really magnificently done item. That's the little bits. So the little bits, baby boy months. Here we go. So again, look at how well designed these are. Mary Fran has really outdone herself in these month cards. So these have 1 through 12, obviously, but imagine these being the start of, okay, here is my 4-month-old, and this is a portion in your mini album or album. Then after that, every page you flip after that is everything that happened in 4 months, right? In the term between 4 months and 5 months. So photos and put in journal cards and all kinds of different things. You know, it's limitless as to what you want to do or how you want to use these, but you can also utilize these as a portion of your page, placing them on a background paper along with photo and journaling if you want. And again, it captures the whole crux of it in that this is the 10-month-old photo and journaling and such, right? But again, so incredibly well done. And here's some more phrase tags for you so that way you have more options when you're creating with those moments. We want you to have lots of really well done items or blanks for you to do yourself so that way everything coordinates and everything captures in that same feel. So that is the muds. So the 2 paper pack, I was talking about this earlier. Again, we want things to coordinate but not be exact duplicates. So you've seen these patterns before, but these papers do not come in these colors in the FQB or anywhere else. So the 2 paper pack is truly its own paper pack. You only get these colors in here. And again, if you're creating an album or a mini album, you are going to be using loads and loads of papers, and we want to make sure that you have the exact color of this particular paper. That is the effort that Mary Fran has put forth for you. The solids, again, solids are a lot like digital cardstock. So we use them to back photos, main elements, all that kind of stuff, because the tone of the blue, obviously black is black, but the tone of the blue is the exact tone to match the kit. So that's why these are so important. But as you can see, Mary Fran has made these a little bit more elaborately than just some flat piece of cardstock. This has the stitching around it. It has another bordered, elaborate paper in behind it. So if you're feeling really creative, these are awesome to create your own background paper. Why can't you add in a flower cluster, some of the sentiment, maybe one of the digital stamp sentiments in here? There you go. You've created, or one of the clusters, you've created your own background paper and customized your own background paper, and which you can then utilize. And it, again, is exactly what you want, which is really why we craft, isn't it? You want exactly what you want rather than buying something pre-made off the shelf. Lastly is the alpha. Again, the alpha flows with the feel of the entire collection with that more elegance, more stylish type thing. It's not the cutesy version of Baby Boy. We certainly have those in our store if that's what you're looking for. But this one we wanted to go elegant and more stylish on this side. So again, a full range of alpha of the letters, numbers, and some punctuation for you. So that way this allows you to spell out names, dates, emotions, whatever it is that you want to highlight. That is the point of using the alpha. So before I let you go, let's just hop into the displays here and show you an example of the layout. This layout is gorgeous. Like, look at how full it is. There is so much interest in here, yet the photo is so predominant. It does not take over from the photo. It highlights and accentuates that photo. But that gives you an example of just the beautiful layering that can be done. Use this as inspiration if you want when you're creating. If maybe you just want to create this one item, or you like the way Mary Fran has layered a couple of things in, or how she used her photo corners or whatever. They're great inspiration items as well. Here is the card that I chose to create, and again, this is for a Welcome Home Baby card. But again, as you can see, this Welcome Home Baby, this was one big element. I didn't do this. Same thing with the flower cluster. I didn't do that. Mary Fran did those for us. I paired it up with the doily element, with a strip of the paper for the little one. There are a couple of scalloped borders and a butterfly and a sentiment. But here's what I wanted to point out as well. I talked to you about using the ribbons. Here's how I chose to use them down here. If I didn't have them down here, it was a little blank. It didn't tie in and grab the greens and blues from up here. So again, that is a great way to utilize the ribbons, is in order to make things cohesive and get them to flow a little bit better in those dead areas. So thanks for tuning in to our bundled beautiful baby boy collection. It really is something. If you are creating for a baby boy, this is a must and a go-to. It is definitely worth getting the full bundled collection, because there is so much creating that you can do with this, and that you probably will do, because there is so much to create for in that baby's first year. So thanks for tuning in, but before you leave, please click on our Knitwear Collections logo in the bottom right of the screen. You will be subscribed to our YouTube channel. It'll make you aware of anytime new videos are put up. As well, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, let us know your thoughts on this, and we hope that you enjoy creating again with the beautiful baby boy collection.